Hey guys, this is Yana. I passed my IELTS exam several weeks ago and got 8.5 overall. This is actually my fourth time taking this exam, but this time it was a bit different as I did it on a computer. It was also different because after the exam I decided to try the one skill retake option to improve my writing score and to simply see how it works. But I'll make a separate video about that, where I'll share whether it's worth doing. Today, my main focus is to share my experience with the exam itself and how I prepared for it. Let's get started. My listening score this time is 9. This is actually the first time I've got the maximum score. Here is what I did to achieve that. I completely switched my daily life to English, and when I say everything, I really mean it. Music, podcasts, TV shows, YouTube, movies, even news. Literally everything was in English. I did the listening test from all the Cambridge IELTS books. There are 19 of them, each containing 4 full listening tests. But the key part wasn't just doing the test, it was what I did after. After every test, I opened the scripts, which are attached to every Cambridge book, and carefully went through the parts where I made mistakes. I tried to figure out what exactly confused me. Was it unknown vocabulary? Was it the speaker's speed? Or did I just lose the track of thought for a moment? Honestly, all of these things can happen. I also worked a lot on my spelling. There are words that many candidates commonly misspell, and spelling mistakes cost you points in IELTS listening, so I focused heavily on that. If you want to know more tips for IELTS listening, check out my video on that. I've also shared a document with the most commonly misspelled words, which you will find in the description below. My reading score is also 9, and this is actually the third time I've got a 9 for reading. What can I say? Reading is my passion. I read a lot in English every day, and it definitely plays a huge role. To succeed in reading, you absolutely need to build a wide range of vocabulary. My main advice here: whenever you read something, whether it's a text, an article, or a practice test, underline and write down any unfamiliar expressions or words. Some of you might be thinking, but what if there are too many unknown words? Then, at the very least, start with the words that are used in questions. There are typically common academic words that appear frequently across different IELTS reading passages. If you learn these, you will already feel more confident when tackling the test. For more tips, check out my separate video on IELTS reading. You will find the link in the description below. My writing score this time is 8, the highest I've ever had. Before this, I was stuck between 7 and 7.5. This time, I approached it very differently. First, I booked consultations with several former IELTS examiners and asked them to evaluate my writing. That really helped me understand my weak points. One of the major issues was grammar. Even though I didn't make many mistakes, I had some recurring problems with articles and punctuation. These mistakes were small but systematic, which meant I couldn't get higher than 7 for grammatical range and accuracy. To fix that, I used several books, including Grammar in Use and Common Mistakes at IELTS. I worked on these areas consistently. My second big focus was coherence and cohesion. I had problems with referencing and with making my paragraphs flow logically. Something that helped me enormously was an academic writing course I took on Coursera. It taught me how to structure my ideas clearly and to produce meaningful pieces of writing. But honestly, my biggest challenge was writing task 1. I simply didn't know how to write it within 20 minutes. It always took me longer to figure out how to group the information. The book that became a real game changer to me was Parents' IELTS Writing. Yes, it's a bit old, but honestly, it's priceless when it comes to understanding how to write Task 1. After finishing all these resources, I started focusing heavily on time management while writing. I used Write and Improve to submit my essays and get instant feedback. I also used AI, the websites which helped me to check my essays for mistakes and provided me with Band 9 versions of my answers. I then copied those improved answers into my notebook along with all the grammar and spelling mistakes I had made to review and learn from them. My speaking score this time is 8.5. This is the second time I've received such a high score. Here is what my preparation looked like. First, I reviewed all the vocabulary and learned advanced expressions for the most common IELTS speaking topics. Then, I printed out the latest speaking questions from a website called IELTS Blog. I'll leave the link in the description. Every day, I picked a few questions and practiced answering them. I used ChatGPT to check my answers for grammar mistakes and unnatural phrasing. It also provided me with improved versions of my answers, which I wrote down and then recorded myself reading them aloud. This really helped me with fluency and pronunciation. The most valuable part of my preparation was doing weekly mock speaking tests with former IELTS examiners. Every week I chose a different examiner because I wanted to have different perspectives on my answers. And believe me, every examiner evaluates a little differently. I always learn something new from each session. I honestly believe that IELTS preparation is 100% manageable if you approach it in the right way. It's not just about doing endless practice tests. It's about working on your English skills holistically, understanding your weak points and improving step by step. If you have any questions about my IELTS experience or about preparation strategies, feel free to drop a comment here or message me on Instagram or TikTok. And if you're currently preparing for IELTS and need some guidance, I offer group lessons for IELTS where we cover all 4 skills, go through strategies, do practice together, and support each other along the way. And individual consultations, if you prefer focused, personalized feedback, especially for writing and speaking. In my sessions, I share the exact strategies and resources that helped me achieve success. I also give detailed feedback on your writing and speaking and help you build a clear study plan based on your goals. Feel free to contact me on Instagram or TikTok. Links in the description to learn more or book a session. Thank you so much for watching and good luck on your IELTS journey. You've got this.